And so Hill and Knowlton is this, can I call it evil, a public relations firm that was complicit in starting the first war against Iraq, the first American attack on Iraq. The American people did not want to attack Iraq in 1990 or 91, so Hill and Knowlton was hired to make the war happen, and they did. They created a story about Iraqi soldiers coming into a hospital in Kuwait and basically taking babies out of their incubators, leaving them on the floor to die, and that so inflamed opinion, but it was all a lie. So that was Hill and Knowlton. So here today, the chief advisor to the NDP, the chief election advisor to the NDP,
that's right,
is a vice president, I think, with Hill and Knowlton.
That's right.
And the recently resigned co-chair of the Liberal Party also works for Hill and Knowlton. Remember, it works. They work for Monsanto. They work for the frackers. They work for third world dictators who want their images brightened up. I don't know what else you can say about Hill and Knowlton, but
well, let's
what
not
are they
forget
doing?
that
the Conservative
Party, Harper's party, his chief communications officer resigned early in the spring to go to Hill and Knowlton.
Right.
So Hill and Knowlton's all over this thing. You know, they're all over all three parties.
And
God
again,
knows how much. We really don't know how much.
So what does it mean? I mean, I really want to hope that, you know, the election that just happened and the election of this young man to be our prime minister, with all the promises that were made, I mean, I really hope at least some of that is going to happen, but I don't have much faith. I fear the other side may be more correct, which is that the entire thing is, as you called it, a puppet show, and the corporations control all the levers. They do own all the media. They control all the political parties, I think. I'm sure you think.
Yeah.
And the next 4 years are, I mean, these guys work for corporate Canada, just like Mr. Harper did.
Well, there's a hell of a lot of influence. You know, do they control it 100%? Well, I don't know how to measure that, but if you look at the power that these PR firms have, you know, it's not just lobbyists in Ottawa going in and asking for favors. We're talking about, you know, thousands of people involved in shaping policy, writing laws, you know, going in and pretty well plunking the paper down in front of the politicians saying, there's your legislation, you know, and like Bill C-51 and all that stuff, I doubt was ever written by anybody that we know of. You know, these things are all done in the back rooms. It is a very dark thing, a very dark thing about politics, and particularly in Canada, where we're hoping for something better. These forces are upon us, and Harper was a prime example of that because he was the forefront. They really had their man in place, and he changed Canadian society in the years that he was there. We have a lot of work to undo, a lot of really gruesome laws and a lot of bad things, and really divided our society. You know, just some bad things happen, but that's obvious. But underneath, there's another whole thing going on all the time, and we just simply have allowed this to go on for too long. I really think we have to be more vigilant and to try to root out these sort of influences and not allow it to happen.
And when you say these sort of influences, what do you
well,
mean?
that's a public relations world that's influencing our politics.
Yeah. And the public relations world works for is the
well, obviously
world.
they're paid by corporations,
Yeah.
paid for by corporations. All the public opinion pollsters, they're all paid for by corporations.
Yeah. So I think you and I would agree then